What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros Afternoon Live Show. It is still just me. You have 2 more days of just me, and then T-Shirt will be back. But guess what? Despite the fact that he is gone, the markets keep on moving. We have been up and down over the last 24 hours with Bitcoin and other altcoins. However, tomorrow with not tomorrow. I think I keep saying tomorrow. Today's Monday. 2 days from now, excuse me, guys, 2 days from now, I need to go change the description, I think I say something about tomorrow. Big moves could be coming, though, as whales start to make it. I'm not going to tell you just yet. Whales are doing some stuff. Bitcoin whales are preparing for FOMC day coming, not tomorrow, in 2 days. T-Shirt will actually be here for that. But also, on today's show, we got a little bit of a drama, a little bit of stuff going on with the XRP community we have to address, and also, again, guys, I'm going to start having this from now on my notepad. I got a list of coins. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 coins that I think are getting ready to rally. And I'll explain why that is. You got to stick around, though, for the entire show. Thank you for being in here. Smash the like button already. Just, I haven't done anything yet, but YouTube seems to like it. You guys seem to like it. Gets more people in here. Let's have ourselves a great show today. And we got to start off by just rolling that intro. All right, guys, I feel good about the show today. I do have Michael Mancini. I don't know how you pronounce it there. He is saying, Tim, don't forget to share your screen today. Ha, 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 ha. That's pretty funny. Those of you who might have missed Saturday's stream, great stream. Go back and watch it, but there is a portion of it. I think it's only like a minute long, but I was doing some of the best TA you'll ever see in your life. The problem is you couldn't see it. Didn't share my screen. So hopefully we don't have that problem today. We do have a different problem, though. I found a funny video. Before we get too much into the seriousness of the show, I saw this, and it gave me a hearty chuckle today. Get the wrong screen. Let's go zoom in here just a little bit on Twitter. This is from Concrete. Shout out to him. Don't know who he is. In fact, I don't follow him, but he's gonna get a follow from me because I liked this joke. Crypto MFers, I don't say the whole word. Family show here. When they make a good call, I'm not gonna lie. I fully feel like this is what I look like when something I said was gonna happen happens in crypto. So I'll take that one right on the chin. I thought it was funny. I think it's just true. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about crypto. A little bit of a mixed bag here so far. Shout out to Kelly Kellum. I see you in chat. Love you, fam. Let's check out the bubbles for the day. Let's see what's happening with the bubbles. Rose seems to be our biggest gainer, up 8.9%. I click on it and it gives me that screen. I don't want that. OM seems to be doing all well. All right, I guess. Monero up 5.6. Injective up. Uni up. Flare. OM Quant. Jasmy is up. GNO is up. Biggest losers, though, of the day. Sui 5.7. Brett 6.8. Wormhole down here sneaking behind me, but it's down 8.9. Tau and Filecoin. Philcon is how Jim Cramer pronounces it. Ordi not. They're also down here as well. So mixed bag. A lot of times we see an overwhelming green day or an overwhelming red day. Well, guess what? Part of the reason why we're not seeing a lot of unity here and things are kind of all over the place is because that's exactly what the market is right now. I put out a tweet earlier on Twitter, and I think overwhelmingly people are feeling more bullish, but there was a decent amount of people predicting that crypto would crash here this week. People saying it will rally, and other people saying no, it's just going to continue to trade in this boring sideways range for a while. So a lot of mixed results, and ultimately we are waiting to hear from the man himself, Jerome Powell. I'm going to go into CoinMarketCap here in a second, but I want to explain this for anyone who's new here. Why are we boring right now? Why are things down? Well, we did have some not so favorable job report numbers. I broke that all down for you guys both on Friday's morning special live show and in the afternoon one. So I'm not going to go into full detail. Ultimately, though, the new jobs created, the non-farm payroll, was a lot higher than people expected. Due to that, and people thinking maybe there's a higher chance of a rate cut coming, maybe not in June, but maybe in September, those got diminished, so price dipped. Well, with a lot of other countries now cutting their rates, we're going to talk about this later on in the show, there's a little assumption that possibly Jerome Powell might feel, I don't know, peer pressured, and that term fits because his peers across the pond over in Europe and just north of us, the hat of America, Canada, they're cutting rates here, and a lot of other European countries looking to do the same. So could Jerome Powell feel the pressure for America to follow? We actually have a very interesting argument in an article all about that. But that's why things are kind of mixed right now. We're waiting to hear, what will he say on Wednesday? Will he give us a glimmer of hope to start pricing in future rate cuts, or will he continue to kind of be a stone wall about his emotional state when it comes to rate hikes or rate cuts? Are we going to just hold off for now? We do have to wait for a couple of days, but that doesn't stop us today from speculating about what could happen. Let's come back over here. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin kind of hovering exactly where it was yesterday this time. That was on Sunday. But right here, we've been up above 70,000 today. But there's a pretty strong level of resistance sitting right there on 70,000. We keep getting knocked back down here. So currently at 69.7. But again, 0.02% down, 0.04% down, nothing major. Ethereum's down 0.6%. BNB, probably the biggest loser of the top 10. It is the biggest loser of the top 10, down almost 4%. Solana down 0.5%. But then you have XRP slightly up, which we got to deal with some XRP drama happening on the internet right now. People are a little bit concerned about what's going on there. Dogecoin's down 2%. Toncoin's up 0.5%. Cardano barely up 0.13%. So as a whole, the top 10, the biggest gainers, kind of sitting still, waiting for the next big move. And that's going to have to go ahead and take us over into the charts, where this candle right now, it keeps flipping on the daily. Right before the show, it was white. Now, actually, we're back down to 69.5. So in the last couple of minutes, if I were to come down like to the 5-minute chart, yeah, we got some blue candles, some bearish candles coming in as of late. But as a 5-minute chart, I'm not necessarily that worried right now about that, again, especially with some bigger news coming out later. Ultimately, we're continuing to defend this rising level of support that was the symmetrical triangle that Bitcoin just broke out of. I feel good as long as Bitcoin stays above this. There's really not any reason to panic. To be fair, as we start to turn on other symbols here as well, you're going to see a lot of things below us. Again, we have major support around 67 to 67.5 in play with our order block here. We do have a daily smart trail coming in around 64,000. This is something I told you guys last week. If we begin to lose some of these levels of support, look for 64 to be in play for multiple reasons here. Ultimately, we still have that support in play. We also have 61,000 that continues to be in play. This continues with kind of the concept that I've been talking about now for months. And I thought for a second we were going to break above and go higher, and we still might. But I continue to tell people, listen, this was part of something that I chimed a couple of months ago. I said, guys, this is normal historically to rally before the halving, dip down into the halving, and then have a sideways trading range. And I gave you guys a range of about 60,000, 61,000, give or take, up to about 71,000. I said we might have a couple of candles and wicks below, might have a couple of candles and wicks above, but as a whole, historically, we stay in this tight range. And right now, even though we got very, very close, and we're not out of the woods yet to say we can't break this and make a move towards 80K, we're kind of still respecting that. Again, here, more recently, two very strong levels of resistance right around the $71,000 level continue to keep us below. But watch that red line. That's going to be very important. If we break down below it, yeah, I think there's a decent chance 64 or 60,000 could be back in play. But right now, we got to continue to have to watch what is happening on those time frames with the oscillators, what's happening with the whales. We're going to get into stories here in just a second. Just update you on oscillators, though. We are seeing a little bit of uptick on the daily chart from Stochastics RSI and the normal RSI. When it comes to our money flow and our Luxago oscillator, it's not necessarily as bullish. We are seeing this oscillator look like it might want to reverse to the upside, but right now, I will tell you, this is not what you want to see if you were a Bitcoin bull. I'll give you other things you want to see, but red reversal dot, bearish momentum, and negative money flow, guys, that's a sell signal on Bitcoin. And while recently, again, we've been very, very choppy, would not be surprised to see that sell signal actually imply we should come down closer to 67,000. That's just what the charts are saying on the daily chart. That absolutely could be reversed. These things don't hit 100%, but they do hit more often than not. So you want to be aware of that. I do not want to be so negative, though. Let's get into some stories, and I might bring you back into the charts to explain some things. But we have some stories when it comes to Bitcoin that should leave you feeling a little more bullish than bearish if you work through the details. Let's start over here with article number uno. This would be Bitcoin futures hints at another market correction. Now, that's I said this is going to be bullish, but market corrections, the term, in case you guys are new, would imply further downside. What's happening here? Let's dive in and actually talk about this. Bitcoin whales accumulate as ETF inflows bolster market stability. So already right here, a very confusing article because the title hints towards a correction. The first line kind of detailing what the article is going to be about is saying, oh, we have stability. What is this even saying? Let's get into more of the details. Bitcoin's perpetual futures markets are currently experiencing high funding rates, signaling a premium for long positions and a further correction for spot prices, according to the Bitfinex Alpha Report's latest edition. You might be confused by that. I will explain what that means as soon as we get through the article. Traders appear to be leveraging the basis arbitrage opportunity, shorting Bitcoin on the open market while gaining spot exposure through ETFs, aiming to profit from futures and spot market price discrepancies. All right, that gives you a little bit of light, but we'll keep going, and we'll kind of wrap this up with a bow here in a second. The recent leverage flush saw significant liquidations in altcoin leverage longs, with CoinGlass data showing Bitcoin open interest at an all-time high of 36.8 billion on June 6th. So this was before the big dip. There was a lot of open interest, and that was what partially was responsible and able for a little trigger of bad news to make the market crash the way it did. And crash is the wrong word here. Flush is a good word. Dip's the right word. We did not crash. We just had a pullback. So I want to make sure I don't scare anyone with the word crash there. Nevertheless, short-term holders have increased their Bitcoin activity, with holding peaking at 3.4 million Bitcoin in April. Long-term holders, on the other hand, are demonstrating confidence by accumulating Bitcoin, with the inactive supply for one-year holders remaining stable. This chart kind of breaks it down for you right there. Bitcoin whales are also on a high accumulation spree, with their balance reaching a new historical high. Therefore, although derivatives data suggests a price pullback in the short term, factors such as increased ETF buying activity, reduced selling pressure for the long-term holders, and improved liquidity could potentially catalyze Bitcoin's upward movement in the long term. Let's break this down. A lot of things back and forth. It was almost like the writer said, well, this is really bullish, but this is really bearish. And that's really bullish, but then this is really bearish. And vice versa. While that's bearish, this is bullish. And it kind of, if you don't know what you're looking at here, you might have been heavily confused. Let me tell you exactly. I'll break down in very simple terms. New users, and there's a lot of them. In fact, some of you guys are some of these new users. New users are showing fear in the market, and they're selling their Bitcoin. They're looking for open positions to short the market because they think and see reasons for price to go to downside. However, long-term holders and whales are seeing amazing opportunities to continue to scoop up more Bitcoin. What we're looking at is open interest, meaning futures trading, people leveraging, looking for short-term positions. They're more than likely to enter a short right now, and they're looking to get price further to the downside. Remember earlier in the TA portion, we talked about 67,000 to 64,000. That's probably the targets a lot of these shorts are looking at. I'll talk about that here in a second. However, at the same time, even some people are kind of, they're leveraging themselves for both ways. They might short the market right now, but they see the future and they see what the whole thing is looking like. And they're saying, this is the time to be accumulating more coins. They're buying the ETFs. They're buying up the Coinbase and Binance and KuCoin and Kraken supply. And then, and we might talk about this, I think, in another article, they're moving it off of their exchange. So while there might still be a small dip, and again, 67,000, 60,000, even if we were to hit those levels, that is still a very small dip. While there still might be a small dip left in this current movement, whale action deems that Bitcoin has a very bright future still. We are not at the top of the bull market, and we have a long way to go to the upside. That ultimately is what this article is talking about. Now, I want to show you something to even that prick your interest, because when I'm reading this article and I see that a lot of short-term users especially seem to be more bearish and are more likely to enter some short positions, you always have to start asking the question, Well, what do the whales do, and what is the best thing for experienced long-term traders to do to make some money? Ultimately, you go over a chart like this. This is high, like this right there. There you go. This is high block. This shows us liquidation levels, or in other words, levels where if the price got to this point, billions of dollars of people's trades will be liquidated. Well, just here a couple of days ago, we had a lot of liquidity down here. If I were to go to, let's go 7 days so I can show you this for a second. And I'll zoom in and show you guys can see it a little better. A couple of days ago, right in here, we had some heavy liquidity right at 69,850 and some more here at 68,450. Well, guess what? We took a little bit of bad news and we created a catastrophe in price action on the short term, liquidating millions and millions and millions of dollars of long positions, right? The reason the price was able to go down so far, so fast is because people who had been bullish and set up trade opportunities and then put stop losses in saying, all right, I want to trade $5,000 on Bitcoin, but if we hit 69,800 or if we hit 68,500, then I want out of the trade. I don't want to be long on Bitcoin anymore. Well, these experienced traders, they know these levels. They can see these levels just like you and I can see them right now. And they push the market just enough to get to these liquidity levels, and then they can bounce back up like it did right here around 68,450. I'm not saying we can't go lower. In fact, if I were to come out here and refresh on the 7-day chart, I want to show you this just so you guys are aware of it. Look where the brightest yellow is actually sitting right now. It's sitting, boom, 68,300. What does that mean? There's a chance in the next 7 days we could see Bitcoin fall back down to 68,300 to get rid of all of those long positions and start the market over. All right. But now I want to show you the monthly chart. What I had you on when I first came on the screen. Take a look here. A lot of yellow going on, but honestly, the brightest yellow is sitting up here closer to 74,000 back towards all-time high. What we're looking at by seeing these liquidity levels and reading through what the short-term users and long-term users are doing, let's kind of work the logic of this. Short-term users, bearish. Long-term users, bullish. Experienced traders, bullish. Right now, with all this open positions on shorts for Bitcoin, you leave yourself open here, Bitcoin. Whether we do it right now or whether we wait for one more pullback to 68,300, you leave yourself open for a great large short squeeze that could push price back up to all-time high, if not continue to make it go even higher. All it needs is a spark. And then before you know it, with just one little spark, you would not believe what these traders are able to do, what the whales are able to do. It is all a game of cat and mouse, back and forth. How can the wealthy manipulate the thoughts of the newer investor, the retail investor who maybe doesn't know as much? How do we convince them to sell at the top and buy at the top, and sell at the bottoms so that the wealthy can do the exact opposite? I'm not saying that we're definitely going to be seeing a price break up to 74,000 within the next 7 days, but I am telling you there's a lot of things in place, both from an on-chain perspective and from a news perspective, that is causing me to believe that a short squeeze absolutely could be in the cards here very, very soon. Let's keep going, though, with some more stories, other reasons to potentially look for this bullish push up on Bitcoin's price. Payrolls led Bitcoin Ether price to swoon is buying dip opportunity, crypto trading firm says. All right. That title is confusing even to me. Markets will increasingly price in at least one Fed interest rate cut for 2024, QCP Capital said. All right. That's very, very interesting. Before I dive further into the article, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, I have it right here. Okay. In case you guys were wondering, June, we never thought, or not anytime recently have we thought we were going to rate cut in June. In fact, most people don't even think July. However, about a week ago, if you had looked at this chart, we had greater than an 80% chance. People were predicting greater than 80% likelihood that we would get one rate cut before or in September. Well, with the recent job data, now it's sitting pretty even, but 51%, that slight edge to the conversation saying we will not see rate cuts. If Jerome Powell says anything that changes this number and causes it to go down, that could be the spark I'm talking about that causes the bulls to start buying and those shorts to be liquidated, an explosive move up towards all-time high, maybe even going higher to 75,000. However, right now, I want you guys to see this. We are still pricing in at least one rate cut by November. In fact, Only 35.6% say we're not going to have one. 46.9% think one rate cut, 16% think two rate cuts, and 1.2 think that we could have up to three. Then you move over here to December, only 13% are saying we will stay still with no rate cuts whatsoever, which means we have a whopping 86.3% are saying, well, at least by December, we should have one rate cut. You come back in this article, that's what it's talking about right here. They are saying we have not priced that in just yet. I even think Caleb Franzen, who is a big believer that we will not see a rate cut until the year 2025, even he has talked about this. Hey, guys, if we're looking to price in rate cuts, the markets have not done that yet. So that's something to keep your eyes on. Let's read some of the things I thought were important in this article. This is from, who said this? Oh, it says up here, I think someone from QC Capital. We agree that it is good opportunity to buy the dip as the markets will increasingly price in at least one Fed rate cut from here. So again, he's saying they will price it in. Guess what? We just know basic English. Will price in means that it has not been priced in yet. That's a future tense. It will be difficult for the U.S. to ignore as the rest of the world continues to cut rates. The European Central Bank and the Bank of Canada, I mentioned this earlier, cut rates last week, leading the group of seven to start a so-called easing cycle. According to Macro Micro, the number of central banks whose most recent moves have been rate cuts has increased this year. Now, before we go on, there are some arguments out there that are saying, well, yes, Europe and Canada have cut rates. And yes, historically, we've never seen actually where America wasn't the first one to cut rates before the G7. So it's very strange seeing Europe and Canada cut rates before. However, the argument is, well, Jerome Powell will not feel the pressure to copy, to repeat, to get that, say, all right, well, if Canada and Europe are doing it, maybe we have to do it as well. There's that argument out there, and I think it's a fair argument. In fact, on Wednesday, when we have Caleb Franzen on, I think he's going to talk about that as well. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm about to read to you and about to explain to you isn't necessarily me saying this is what I'm certain of, but it is an interesting thing to keep in mind, especially with other countries cutting their interest rates. Let's go back to the article. Other central banks, including the Fed, may soon join the fray in tit-for-tat rate reductions, often called currency wars, as a part of a strategy to manage their burgeoning, whatever it is, that's another one that's fun to pronounce, public debts, inadvertently boosting demand for alternative investments like cryptocurrencies. I'll explain here in a second. Our desk saw bullish flows on this dip, both sellers of aggressive puts and buyers of call spreads, especially in BTC QCP. Let's explain this really quickly. And I'm not going to go into the weeds. I'm going to literally explain it on a surface level as if you guys are like 5-year-olds or 7-year-olds. And I'm not going to go that deep, maybe third graders. Ultimately, if the rest of the world is moving into quantitative easing, especially the ones that we have our main trade partners with, if they're going into quantitative easing and we stay in quantitative tightening, that will cause a currency shift. Yes, for a minute, the dollar will become way more powerful than the others. However, this is not a good thing for the economy. Why? Because we have a world economy. And when the world economy starts to suffer, it trickles into the United States. So in other words, if I'm talking to a 5-year-old, if we have a strong, much stronger dollar than Europe and Canada, and our dollar's good and their dollar's bad, that's not good for America, because what's good for America is when Canada and Europe's economies are doing well as well. So this actually could be a thing to say, you know what? If they're cutting to make sure we stabilize the world economy, we have to follow suit as well. Again, very interested to hear what Caleb Franzen says on Wednesday. I'm going to be very excited to hear his take as well. But this is something you absolutely should be aware of, is got to be in the back of the mind of Jerome Powell. Is the U.S. dollar in a place where we really should cut rates? Probably not. Inflation, I do not think, is under control. But again, it doesn't matter if we're fixing inflation. If we're destroying the world economy that our economy is built on, that would be detrimental as well. This is part of the stupidity of going the one world economy kind of route. We're kind of paying for the mistakes of our ancestors when they did all these stupid things like go off of the gold standard, move to this inflated money system, go off of being individual and trying to put all of our eggs around the country, around the world in the same basket so we all stick together. That was a stupid decision back then, and right now we're having to make stupid decisions to pay the consequences of that. If you disagree, let me know, but that's kind of where I am at this point. Let's keep moving on to other reasons potentially to be bullish. I've hinted at this one. Bitcoin price surge predicted amid $6.75 billion withdrawals from major U.S. exchanges. I told you guys earlier, it does look like on-chain data is saying Bitcoin is still looking extremely strong in the eyes of the whales. Industry analysts are forecasting a notable rise in Bitcoin prices, leveraging insights from recent on-chain data. This week could be pivotal given the substantial withdrawal of Bitcoin from major U.S. exchanges. Again, we talked about the number right there in the title, 6.7 billion. This outflux indicates a bullish outlook, setting the stage for potential price elevation if demand levels persist or grow. Just so you guys know, approximately 100,000 Bitcoins were removed from exchanges in the past month. Right. This does not mean that price can't drop a little bit more. That is not what this is implying, but it is saying as a whole, the whales and the smart money holders of Bitcoin are looking at the charts and they're saying, this is amazing. I see nothing but up and to the right. It's time to remove my money off exchanges and let this bad boy run. Let me show you what they're looking at, right? Because a lot of us, let me turn off Luxoggle here for a second and share my screen. A lot of us, let's just go. They're not going to see all of my lines. They're going to have their own lines. Let's go to Bitstamp. I have no lines here. They're going to be, you and I look at this like this 1 hour chart. We look at this volatility. We see up and down. If we turn on Luxoggle, we're seeing signs on maybe like the 4 hour chart saying, we could come down here to 65, maybe even down here. If we go to the daily chart, well, there's some support down here at 55,000, 60. There's all this stuff. This is what you and I, retail investors, maybe day traders, swing traders are looking at. We're not the ones that move the markets. The whales, the guys with the millions and millions and millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, they're the ones that decide the overwhelming direction of the market. And they're not looking at the 1 hour chart. And they're not looking at the 4 hour chart. And they're might from time to time check the daily chart, but they're really not looking at the daily chart either. They're probably looking at this chart right here. They're probably looking at a weekly chart or a monthly chart. And when you look at this chart, guys, let's just pretend for a second. Let me zoom in here. Let's pretend worst case scenario. And I think this really is worst case scenario. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's pretend that Bitcoin's price were to drop to 55,000. That's still a level people have discussed. Let's say we rematch this wick and then we start to rise back up and move back to the upside. Right? That on this view looks pretty dramatic. In fact, it's a pretty good size drop. It's not going to be like 40%, but it's a nice 18, 19% drop in Bitcoin's price. That doesn't look good. A lot of us are saying, I want to sell my Bitcoin so I can buy back in later down here. That's how you and I look at this. This is how people with only a couple thousand, maybe 100,000, maybe $1 million in here. But the guys with billions or at least hundreds of millions, they're looking at this chart like this. They're remembering the price action way back here. They're remembering all this bullishness. And when I look at it from this perspective, that's a blip on the radar. That is not worth me even waking up and getting out of bed to worry about a move from 69,000 to 55,000. Does not bother me. If we were going to make a move maybe down to 36 or 23, yeah, wake me up for that. I want to know what's happening. But if we're only really worried about 55,000, all right, I'm not worried. Let me take my Bitcoin. Let me get it off exchange because guess what? This chart here very, very soon is going to look a lot more like something like this. It's going to look a lot more like this, maybe gets up closer to this. I don't know. I don't think so. Either way, I don't want to be selling my Bitcoin, walking away, and then miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Guys, that's what the whales think, and ultimately, that's what we're trying to get all of you guys to think like as well. Don't think about your numbers right now. Don't go to your portfolio and say, yesterday I had 70,000 and today I only have 65,000. Or, I lost $4,000 this last hour. No, that is not how you think about it. I want you to think about it like this. How many Satoshis are in your portfolio right now? How many ChainLink coins are in your portfolio right now? How many Ethereum? How many Solana? How many AVAX? How many Ondo? What does that number look like? Did that number go down when everything dropped in price by 5%, 10%? No, it did not. That's how the whales think. If you're confident about the long-term bullishness of these projects, forget the US dollar price for a while. Look at that number. How do I stack more Satoshis? How do I get more of this asset that's about to do upwards of 10 to 30x, depending on what coin it is? That's the way that rich people think. And ultimately, that's the way I want to get you guys thinking as well. So you actually build wealth and don't freak yourself out and end up spending all of your gains on anxiety medication because you're freaking out about 5 and 10% moves in the market. There was a lot there, a lot to unpack there. But guess what? We have 600 people watching. Holy cow. That is amazing. You got to smash like, but if you guys are enjoying the show, if you're loving what's going on right now, smash the like button and hit subscribe so you do not miss anything. I'm going to check out with chat, and then we're going to get back into some good conversation. Crux is putting some good polls in here. Let's see this one. What is your overall sentiment for the week ahead? Ooh. All right, well, I voted on the one that is leading. Volatile, both up and down. Yeah, again, I'm sitting here telling you guys, while I'm looking at this longer bullish case, I'm not going to be surprised. I don't think 55,000 is happening. I'm not that bearish. I think that 67 is interesting, and I'm not convinced it's going to happen, but I think that that's an interesting level. I think 64 is interesting. I think 60,000 is interesting. Let me tell you what my thoughts are about how I would react if that were the case. Excuse me, if that were the case. I had a tweet about this, actually. It's time to get some water, guys. It's time to get some water. I'm choking on my own talk. All right. I'm going to show you a cheat sheet. I'm going to show you a strategy that is a strategy I think a lot of you guys should adopt when it comes to crypto. It's working out very well for me, and it's worked out for thousands of others. Here it is. These are my rules to riding crypto volatility. If the price goes up, I get really excited and think about all the generational wealth I'm building for my family. That's a great thing to do. When price goes up, let's celebrate. Let's have some fun. It's awesome. What happens, though, if price goes down? If price goes down, I buy more and think it is awesome because I get to make another purchase at a discount. Guys, let's just keep it positive. We are in crypto, and we're not even close to the top of this bull market that's coming. Learn to keep your mind fixed on the positivities. Again, price goes up. That's a great thing. Your portfolio just gained some more US dollars. That's awesome. But honestly, you learn to love the pullback days because when you get to buy those pullbacks, you get yourself discount opportunities on something that will change your life. You want to be able to think that way. Let's see here. A lot of people, Sayla saying, excellent video, Tim. Thank you so much, Sayla. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, which also, by the way, I've totally forgot. I needed to do this earlier, but I got to give you guys the sponsors of today's video. You guys are wondering why I'm able to come to you guys every single day live and give you this kind of content. It's because of companies like Decrypted.tax. Now, some of you might be saying, all right, Tim, this is awesome. Thank you to Decrypted.tax for sponsoring this channel because I really love to watch it. But why should I care about a tax sponsor right now? I paid my taxes back in April, maybe sooner than that. Well, here's what I'll ask a lot of you. Were you thrilled with how taxes went this year? Was there a little bit of anxiety? Are you certain you did everything correctly? Do you think that you misunderstanding how to file taxes possibly left some money on the table, giving extra income to Uncle Sam? That's a big mistake. That's why I have Decrypted.tax as a sponsor, because this is not just the greatest CPA. He's my personal CPA. He does a fantastic job of handling taxes. That's Ernest. He's going to be coming on the show, I think, this week or next week. He is somebody who saves people thousands and thousands of dollars. And here's the deal. When you sign up today, first of all, don't wait until April to do your taxes. Go ahead and have a tax attorney right now tell you what you should be expecting, because a lot of you guys are going to be making some killer gains in this bull market. Find out from a tax professional right now how to best put yourself in position to pay Uncle Sam as little as possible. When you sign up with our link, first of all, you can get a free 60-minute consultation before spending a single dime. But if you do spend a dime and you want to pay for his services, for him to save you thousands on taxes, you get 25% off just saying, hey, I found out about you from the Investing Bros. So make sure you take advantage of that. And also, if you want to see me anytime soon, I will be in Nashville for the Bitcoin Conference, July 25th through the 27th. Tickets are on sale. Get them today. It's about $500. But guess what? $500 to see Tim and T's room. Sign me up, although I'm already going because that's where I'm going to be. Make sure to go sign up if you have not gotten your tickets yet today. Thank you to Nashville, Bitcoin Nashville, for sponsoring this video as well. Let's go back in real quick here before I jump into the next story. which we will be talking about XRP. Jess Jim says, when T-Shroom? JK. Well, then I'm not going to answer the question since you're just kidding. El Thoro says, Tim, you're the man. You explain things nicely. Glad I found this channel earlier this year. Thank you so much, my friend. I really tried. I try as hard as I can to take the complicated and make it simple. I think I could still get better. I'm going to keep growing. I think sometimes I still leave things a little complicated, maybe on the charts, but we're going to keep getting bigger and better. And you guys are going to keep getting bigger and better portfolios as well if you stick around. Jess Jim says, Ernest seems real to me. Yeah, he is. I mean, Ernest is one of the most genuine, real guys that I've met. He is a lifesaver. I'm, again, so glad that he does my taxes, both my crypto taxes and my personal taxes. And guess what? Not that he ever makes mistakes, but let's just say he made a mistake for some reason. He's a tax attorney, so you don't have to worry whatsoever. He will represent you. And again, it's just all the reason. Just call him, see what he's doing, get information. I bet you'll want to sign up with him. Let's get into our story here. XRP, there's got some drama in the XRP community. And I want to start off before I get into this. You guys can see the article right there. Ripple CTO addresses rumors of XRP abandonment, community reactions, and emerging alternatives. All right. There has been some back and forth on, does Tim hate XRP? Is Tim a fan of XRP? I want to make it very clear up front. I still have a bag of XRP. I literally, in a video I made on Saturday, telling people, what to buy, I put XRP in the list, right? I still think there's gains to be made here. But there are stories like this, and we're going to get into it, and it says that it's not anything to worry about, but it's stories like this that do give me concern about XRP, and I'm interested, what do you guys think about this? Maybe some of you already know. Maybe some of you have never heard of this. I'm going to tell you what happened. You guys in the chat, give me your honest feedback on XRP. All right. What happened? Well, Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz. Have you guys ever seen a picture of David Schwartz? It's an interesting guy. Go Google him after this. I'm not going to pull him up here because I got to read the article. Recently addressed rumors suggesting the company might abandon its XRP token. What? XRP is going to abandon the XRP token? What in the world is going on? All right. That's the rumor. Let's get into it. These rumors began to spread when a social media user pointed out a cryptic quote on Schwartz's cover photo. The quote hinted at a financial startup struggling between survival and its vision due to the high cost of challenging the status quo. In response, Schwartz clarified that the quote was from a fictional film and did not reflect any real-world events. This clarification helped to quell some of the fears and uncertainties within the crypto community. However, despite Schwartz's clarification, some investors remained skeptical and decided to reassess their XRP holdings. Both amateur investors and whales have shown interest in alternative projects, indicating a possible shift in investment trends. We've talked about XRP, guys. And again, I'm not sitting here trying to FUD it. I actually still hold a bag, but I'm not necessarily too worried to drop below that red line. That's a very long-term red line that we've had several wicks drop below. In fact, I really should replace this red line with something like this. This is probably a much better example of what XRP support level looks like. All right, that was just for my own kicks and giggles right there. I had to replace that support level. The point is, especially since the dip we had back on April 13th, XRP cannot get back above this very serious level of resistance around 56 cents. It keeps bouncing around this level of 47 cents. It's become a borderline a stable coin. And this is what I'll say. I am hoping, David Schwartz, I am hoping it is a joke. But you've got to know who you are. In fact, let's find a picture of David Schwartz. We got to get a picture of David Schwartz. Probably spelled his name wrong. There we go. All right. This is old David Schwartz. Not going to comment about him at all. Just that's who he is. David, you've got to know a lot better your position of authority, your position of what you do to post a quote that is very eerily close and similar to the company that you are a CTO of, kind of addressing or almost making it seem like you don't think that the cost of keeping a part of that company alive is worth it, when there's already so many people suggesting and worrying that XRP might be left in the dust by Ripple. I said a lot there. Let me back it up and explain to you guys. I have said on the show, I like XRP. I'm not hating on XRP, but I do have some valid concerns. They were supposed to be this amazing bankers coin. They were going to make deals with all the banks. Guess who just made that deal? ChainLink. And ChainLink has not surpassed XRP in market cap yet, but I do think it will. So you have this pretty aggressive competition even within the cryptocurrency world. Then there's rumors of Ripple potentially creating an IPO, meaning going public, and now all of a sudden there will be a stock associated with them. Why is that a problem? Some people think it's a benefit. Here's why I don't think it is. You know what? One of the biggest concerns that XRP haters have that I think they're wrong about, but they're true in nature, it's that XRP is not the most decentralized coin. Ripple, the founding company, owns the majority of XRP's tokens, right? Well, right now, they have no incentive to sell. So I'm kind of sitting here, when people say XRP owns the majority, they're just going to dunk on their investors. I think, no, that's the dumbest thing in the world. They would never do that. That would actually hurt them as a company, right? So they have no reason to do so. If they go public as a company and they have a stock, now they have shareholders, they have board members, they have to keep happy. And if they don't keep them happy, they've got to sell something on the balance sheet to make sure that stock stays high. Okay. What do they have a lot of? XRP tokens. So in theory, could they not utilize that heavy amount of supply of XRP, sell it so they prop up the stock? And now all of a sudden you also have people going and saying, should I invest in XRP, the coin, or Ripple, the stock? I might invest in Ripple, the stock. It looks better. So you have internal competition. And then you're coming out with a stable coin as well, which could potentially take away some of the use case of XRP. These are all things that are happening right now in the world. And then David Schwartz, this guy right here, makes a joke quoting a movie that sounds so eerily similar to a decision that Ripple has to make. I am hoping he is right. I am hoping it was poor judgment and he did not mean anything and that XRP is going to be okay. However, the timing and the decision-making to release that quote, it's pretty poor. And in reality, we all know people, I'm not going to insult this man's intelligence. I think this man is an extremely smart person. And smart people do not do things on accident or by mistake. They have reasons. They like to speak in rhymes and riddles. So you might come out and say, David Schwartz, that this was just a joke, has no correlation, but you cannot stop people from reading into it. And I ultimately think, and I'm about to say something positive about XRP, guys. We'll have to transition to something. I'm going to say something positive. But on the long term, we got to fix this, Ripple. I'm still on Team XRP. I'm still on Team Ripple. I have a bag. Please don't make me regret having that bag. Please don't make me sell that bag. Please fix this kind of stuff. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is just a joke and there's nothing to be concerned about? Or are you a little concerned about this as well, just like I am? No, I said that. That was the negative side. Let's stay positive though. For all my XRP fans out there, I'm going to kick off the next segment starting with you. The next segment are coins that I'm watching right now that I think might be about to rally, right? So I just talked about something that might not be good for XRP, but when I look at the chart for XRP, I do get filled with butterflies in my stomach saying, this could be an interesting long position. Like I just said, we're sitting on a nice support level right there. But it's when I come into the Lux Algo Oscillator that I start to feel very good about myself. Now, we have a little ways to go. I'm not saying this is about to happen. However, there's other things that are technically better than this one. That money flow, while it's still negative, I am watching the oscillator be the lowest it's been since way back in April, and it is curving and looking like it wants to go to the upside. We've recently gotten a bullish reversal flash, and while that money flow is negative right now, it is so low the minute it turns and we see positive money flow, I do think that XRP could be an interesting buy position. I see stochastics crossing bullish right now. I see the RSI giving us signs of hope. MACD, let me see what it's saying. It's still negative at the moment, but it's starting to curve and looks like it wants to go bullish. The oscillators here on the daily chart do look like they're ready to go to the upside here for XRP, but it's not the only one. let's take a look at some other coins that I'm interested in. And I'm going to kind of go quickly through these. I'm going to save some time for Q&A. And if you guys want to dig deeper into some of these coins in the Q&A, you absolutely can. Let me go through some coins that are looking very similar to XRP with those oscillators. Got to start off with my boy ADA, which people don't like when I say ADA. ADA is technically wrong. I'm very sorry. I actually apologize to all Cardano people right now. It's ADA. Charles Hoskinson and IOHK named everything they do after historical figures. And so while some of us say ADA because those are the letters, I'm very wrong. And I'm learning to fix it. It's ADA. It's not ADA. It's ADA. That's a name. ADA did break below some support right here, right? But I still see us sitting on long-term support here on 43 cents. We've continued to bounce, and the whales have continued to defend that level with a lot of strength. And then you come in here, the oscillators, stochastics looking good. The RSI starting to bounce back up. The MACD is starting to curve back to the upside. And then you come in here to Luxalgo. And even though we need to see more flash, what am I seeing? Oscillators starting to curve, move to the upside. That money flow, if you really zoom in, it's not bullish enough for me to say it's positive money flow just yet, but that money flow looks like it's at worst going sideways, and you can make an argument for it moving to the upside. We've seen recently a lot of excessive sellers come in and leave. I think that's starting to flip here. Cardano's got some big stuff happening in June. I will be creating a video about Cardano this week and reasons to be excited. But that that RSI, stochastic RSI, and the oscillator from Luxalgo making me feel good about Cardano. Let's keep going on here with some more. ICP also is on this list. Now, ICP recently did lose a pretty significant level of support. But what it did do is bounce off of, if you weren't looking at the rising level of support, you do have some pretty serious horizontal support, if I can grab this tool correctly, that we continue to bounce off of right here around $10.76. So that right there on the chart is something that I'm keeping an eye on. But of course, got to come over here in the oscillators. What do we have? Bullish stochastics, bullish RSI. The MACD looks like it wants to cross bullish. And then I come in here, and now on this one, guess what I have? This one actually is the most bullish one of the ones we've seen so far. I got the green reversal. I got the most powerful of this whole indicator. I got positive money flow with excessive sellers leaving the space. Look what I have with my oscillator. That oscillator is starting to move sideways. I predict in the next day or two, we should see a green momentum dot there. That's my trifecta on the daily chart to enter a long on ICP. Don't sleep on it. That's what I'm watching right now on these oscillators. Keep moving on. I got to kind of go almost quick at this point. Got to go hyper mode. Let's just maybe stay on the Luxalgo oscillator, shall we? Excessive sellers at the moment, but they're starting to curve. That curve in the oscillator and the green support dot coming in for AVAX. Keep an eye on AVAX over the next couple of days. Keep moving on here. I told you guys about XRP. Matic has kind of been a little bit of a boring sideways coin. It's actually falling. We're back down at 65 cents on Matic. Don't sleep on Matic, though. Don't act like just because Matic is not having fireworks right now that it's a dead project. It's got the same thing going on. The money flow is actually, if you look at the peaks or the bottoms, is continuing to move to the upside. We do see the green dot coming at the bottom for reversal. We do see the oscillator slowing down. It looks like it wants to move to the upside. Keep an eye on Matic. OP is another one kind of joined this list. There's some of them that are actually flashing right now. OP, though, excessive sellers in the space, but we got that green reversal dot. We had the slowing down of the momentum and that money flow. I'm telling you right now, it's negative right now, but watch. I'm not saying buy today. I'm saying watch this chart over the next couple of days. When those sellers leave and this flips positive, we will have in probably the next 7 days a buy signal on OP. That's Optimism. Tia is doing kind of similar things over here. The money flow is technically going sideways right now, but we have our green reversal dots, and we're starting to see a slowing down of the bearish momentum right here. Watch out for Tia. That's probably the least bullish of them all. I think the money flow needs to be pretty considerably more positive. It is literally sideways right now, still going negative. So give that one a little extra time. But that one's looking good. Polkadot made a video about it this morning. Positive money flow for a while now, but we got a green reversal dot in play, and we're slowing down on our oscillator right here. I think Dot is about to, I kind of addressed that in our morning video, but I think Dot is actually seeing a lot of things and a lot of reasons why we might see some whales come back in and want to be purchasing here very shortly. Dot is there. Say is here on my list. This one actually, I would almost say, is probably ready to go as we are speaking. The oscillators have been green here. I guess that's actually great right there. So let's get the flip in the oscillator. But the money flow, the excessive sellers are gone. The buyers, or sorry, the excessive sellers are gone. Positive money flow is in play. All we need to see is a green dot right there, and we should be good to go with Say. Seeing as that the most recent, even though it's farther away, the last reversal was a bullish reversal. We've got no red reversals in play, so that is still on the table. Last one I have here that I am watching, I feel good about. And I'm not saying these are the only ones. I'm just saying of the coins that I'm looking at, these are all coins that are either flashing this already or are close to flashing by. We got reversals here on the daily for near. We do need to see the momentum go positive, but the money flow has already gone positive. We're just waiting for that third call on the oscillator, and near could have a ways to go as well. If you are interested and you want to see potential trade setups or price targets, that happens in the VIP trading group. That is a group that we have in our Discord. When you purchase Lux Algo, and that's all these great indicators. Not only do you get the order blocks and the take profits and the smart trails, you get this amazing oscillator right here. On top of all that, you get access to my VIP trading group where you get to come in and post your own thoughts and get feedback from your peers. You get to get my feedback on your trades, and you get to see my trade setups. I'm not doing that on the show anymore. I've done that from time to time. Guess what? Moving forward, I just got to save that type of information for my VIP members. If you want to be a part of that, go buy Lux Algo or join the Platinum YouTube membership, and I'll get you into that group. With that said, that is going to wrap up my planned discussion. I will have actually another thing you get with a VIP trading group is twice a week, I'm going live with a Zoom call teaching you guys TA and answering all your questions. And right after the show, we're going to be jumping in with our VIP trading group. So if you sign up today, you'll probably be a little too late. I won't be able to get you in. However, you can be in there for Thursday's show where we're going to be going live right after the 3 p.m. live show. So stick around for that. Before I read some questions here, still got over 600 people in here. Make sure to smash that like button. What are we at right here? I have not checked. My chart says 11 likes. Oh, look at that, 250. But 630, my rule of thumb is we really should at least get half. I think in reality, we should have like a full, like if there's 630 people watching, we should have 630 likes. But I'm willing to put up with half as being acceptable, I think, for a live show. So we need to get, at least about 40 more likes before we're done being live. Or if we increase in the views, I'll get even more. I'll tell you what, though. You guys can do it. Let's get 600 likes before we finish live. And if that happens, I will sing a song. I don't know what I just promised you. I should not have promised that. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. First of all, let's pull. Let me get this out of the way. What project with a slow start will turn around and get the most gains this cycle? Oh, good question. Oh, I don't know what you guys have said yet. I got to vote on this. XRP, ADA, ADA, my bad. Matic or Litecoin? Well, we're gonna rule out Litecoin, and I like Matic, but I'm gonna say ADA, old ADA, and it looks like you guys agree as well. Yeah, I said it, so I'm gonna have to sing a song. I have very low expectation. I do not think we're gonna get 600 likes. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm rooting for 600 likes. I think it's definitely capable because we still have 600 people watching. I just don't have faith that all of you will smash the like button enough to have me sing. So I actually feel like it was a very safe bet for me. Let's see what the questions are asking. What do you think about Filecoin? Filecoin as a whole, or Filecoin the charts, DR1POG? I think it's okay. It's not in my portfolio. There's just so much other things that I've focused on. Technically speaking, I guess it's kind of a competitor to something I've been big on here recently, called Jasmine in terms of the data world. But let's take a look at Filecoin from the chart perspective. From a fundamental perspective, I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm not going to be able to be the most staunch defender and supporter of it, but I have nothing bad to say about it either. Phil USD. Let's look at old Coinbase. All right. So we're in a symmetrical triangle pattern, had that bullish breakout. This is like the tail as old as time. Almost everything in crypto seems to be doing this right now, where they were in a symmetrical triangle pattern. They broke to the upside, and then we've kind of come back down either below the support level or flirting with it. So that's a strong level of support right there. I will start off by saying that's a good idea right there. If we can unlock that bullish potential, watch out for a breakout back up to $8.17 is the next realistic target for that. Let's see what we have here. We are going to have some pretty good resistance around $7.31 where we have a bearish breaker block. You also see the take profit right in that level around 765. So I'll give a wick. I mean, I think if the bulls can break up, watch for a wick, probably up to around 762, 63 or so, and then fall back down because that's going to be some resistance. If the bulls can get above and close candles above that, that'd be great. They're just, with this being a bearish breaker block, you need a lot of bulls to come in because there's an excessive amount of sell orders that will be put up right there. So that's what I think there on the daily chart. We are a little overextended, right? So remember those coins I just showed you were all kind of low on the RSI and stochastics, and they were giving us a lot of reasons for buying. Not so good here. Actually, this is a sell order. It didn't flash until right today. But red reversal, bearish momentum is printing today, and bearish money flow. That's a sell order right here. And with what I'm looking at on the daily chart, there's nothing. There's nothing of significance right now. Maybe the 4. I mean, let's go 8 out. Let's just let's go 12 hour. I'm going to cut it in half. Let's see if there's anything significant in half. We're on this, but yeah, I mean, it wants to drop lower. What did I have over here for order block? 490. Yeah, I think. Ooh, I'm not guaranteeing it, but there's reason to believe, based off that daily and 12-hour chart, that sell order could, if the bears pick up momentum, bring us back down to $5 or a little bit below. Let me see what the 4-hour chart is saying. It's a sell order to take profit where starting around 538, but then lower levels 492. I'll put it this way. I don't want to FUD anyone out. Trade responsibly, use a lot of confluence, but if we lose this line here around $5.78, we start to poke our heads down to 560 or so. Do not be surprised if we see closer to $5 on Filecoin before it reverses. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. No, you probably didn't want to hear that if you're bullish on it, but if you're liking Filecoin, you should see it as an amazing opportunity to buy some more. So think about it that way. Let's see here. What else do we have in the chat? Thoughts on AIOZ? AIOZ. I have not. Have I ever done TA and AIOZ? Let me see. I don't think so. I don't have any lines drawn at all. Sometimes I don't need to draw lines for TA. Let's go ahead and take a look at that chart. I will say, first and foremost, I mean, could we pull back all the way back down to 55 cents? We could, but we're already at a pretty good pullback right here. I guarantee you, if we were to start finding some lines in, we might have already violated some of those lines. Let me see here. Definitely have some resistance in play that I can track to keep an eye on. Do we have just maybe a similar channel kind of going on? Yeah, I'd kind of put that in a little bit of a channel right there. So kind of sitting on support of a channel, not that bad. These traditionally break to the upside as well. Let's go to the daily chart and let's see what it is saying. We are under a sell order way back here, but guess what? Sitting very, very close to our take profit already. Could we dip a little bit lower to 60 cents? Yes, we could. Could even go a little bit lower towards 58 cents with where that order block is. Like I just said, kind of you could match back some of these lows we had back in April. But let me see what the oscillators are saying. They're very low. Oh, I'm going to put this in that category of other coins we were just looking at. The money flow is still pretty aggressive, and I'm not seeing the slowing down of the oscillator. But what I am seeing from everything else is I'm not going to do a trade setup for you guys. I'm not going to tell you where to take profit or stop loss or anything. But I will say I kind of like area right here between 58 to 60 cents as a potential bottoming out place for AIOZ. That's what I'm seeing here on the daily chart for sure. I think that there's reason to be bullish on this, at least coming very, very soon. Do you ever get, so we're gonna do this question and one more. Username says, Tim, do you ever get jealous of Caleb's flow every Wednesday? No, let me put it this way. I am very amazed by his flow, his main he has. Great looking guy, Caleb Franzen is, but I've come to be the type of person, I like who I am. I am very good with who I am. I would not trade myself to be anybody else. I might trade a couple joints, like a shoulder, or this morning I was working out and luckily I just strained it. But I was doing some Bulgarian split squats and my right adductor just had some pain to it. So no pop. That's good. I'm probably just gonna have to go slow for like 2 weeks, do some kind of physical therapy movements. But so I might trade for a younger body, but in terms of my looks or my hair, I don't have the greatest hair in the world. I'm just good with it. Eventually, I want to shave my head. I actually am rooting for 50,000 subscribers before the end of 2024 so I can shave my head. But I'm not jealous. But I give credit to those who do it, and Caleb does get credit for some amazing hair. Let's see. One more coin that we're going to take a look at. Yeah, I'm going to end with this one. Cody M. And this is going to suffice username. He's going to like this. What is your honest link prediction by the end of 2024? So this is good because I've been pretty clear with my thoughts about ChainLink closer to the end of 2025, by the end of the bull market. But I've not really addressed where I think it could get by the end of the year. And to be fair, it's very hard to predict where it could be by the end of the year. But if I'm thinking here, ChainLink moves a little bit before other altcoins. And let me go ahead and put a line here on the daily chart. Let's just go ahead and put a line. I'm trying to predict where we would be by this green vertical line. I think that everything will slowly move up. We haven't talked about this today, by the way, guys, but the Bitcoin dominance is just continuing to make its move to the upside. So that's continuing to kind of call this is not an altcoin season just yet, and we probably have a while before that altcoin season. But I do think RWAs, especially like ChainLink, will get a head start on others. I think we start to make moves. Let me look at some previous stuff. I think that we honestly could see ChainLink somewhere between, by the end of the year, somewhere between $38. I'm going to go ahead and just put this box count in here, anywhere to where the all-time high is. So it's a kind of a wide range. I would be surprised if we're above this box, but would not be surprised. Man, it's so hard. It's gonna take off. Here's the reason it's hard. I'm gonna leave this as my realistic target. But there's a chance late we just explodes. ChainLink one day is going to be a coin. Again, this is my price prediction for the long haul up here at between 500 and 700. There's going to be a day or two where we're going to wake up and ChainLink will have 3x'd in like 24 hours because of how valuable it is. Just wait for it. If you guys were not around for the last bull market to see the parabolic bullish candles, it's something that you can't explain. You just have to see it. You have to be a part of it. You have to react to it emotionally, and there's just things that just don't make sense during altcoin season. I'll kind of leave it that way. But I'm gonna be conservative here. I actually, the more I'm talking to myself, I'm like, man, we might be over $100 before the end of 2025. But I'm just gonna leave it at let's expect right now somewhere between $38 to $54 for ChainLink by the end of the year. Go back towards previous bull run. Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't even appreciate it because the candles are small, but they're not small. They're big because the price action we're talking about, like back here, these candles, we're talking about within a couple of days going from $1.68 to $4.70. Just within a week, we was that quadrupled? That's like 300% rally. Those things are going to happen again. In the bull market. I think ChainLink is one of the coins that might have some of the biggest ones of those. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you for being here. VIP group. I'm gonna get some water. I'm going to stretch my leg and stretch my back for a second just because I've been sitting in a seat. But then I'm going to be going live with my VIP trading group here in just a minute. If you're not a part of it, again, all you got to do, purchase Luxago. Purchase Luxago with my link. Make sure you do that. Send me a message or get in Discord and give me one of those tickets. There's a ticket order. You can show me your email you signed up with or join the Diamond membership on YouTube. Connect to our Discord and let me know you did that, and I'll get you into the group. With that said, I love you guys. Smash the like on the way out. I got to use this button more often. Also, you can hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 21,000 subscribers. We're going to have a big celebration when T-Stream gets back, celebrating 20,000, giving a lot of people a lot of money. You don't want to miss it. Be here every day. Like I said, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.
Tryna make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, catch a word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Tryna make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.